today, Tuesday, March 24th at 9:30 a.m. for a live Supercharger event, as we'll be playing 1-minute BTC prediction games. Good to see everybody out there. So we're live. The BTC is back in the $70,000 range. Wow. We've really been bouncing around. It seems, yesterday we had all that excitement. Price went up, and then we just traded sideways the rest of the day. It looks like we're on a continuation of that today. I'm eager to see what happens around 10 o'clock. Is that Yeti here? It is.
Hey. How's it going? Hello?
Yo, Yeti. There you are. Wait, you're a black box right now.
Yeah, I see that. I'll try and make off and on. Can you hear me at least?
I can definitely hear you.
Hey, there we go. Off and on worked.
Nice.
As it so often does.
Very nice. How's your morning going?
Oh, yeah, sick kids.
No,
Actually, last night after Supercharge, I had to race into emergency at the hospital.
What? Oh no, man.
Yeah. And it was just overreaction. It turns out, but you could hear my kid struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
Ran in there, and he's sitting up in bed going I can't breathe.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad. I'm happy that everything's all right, though.
Yeah. So am I.
For little guys, gotta take it as serious as you can.
Yeah.
Oh man. But let the bot.
It's funny though, busting in through the door of the hospital is
heard him.
Demanding to be seen, and you got all these other people in there
You're yeah, fuck all these old people. They're gonna die anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got a whole life ahead of him. Freaking Gertrude over here wasted it. She's freaking just playing bingo and gambling all day long, smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, that's it.
Her grandkids don't even visit her. I'd be the same way. I'd be like, "Oh, you need an organ transplant?" I'm going out into the waiting room. I'm just gonna go find one. How did you find that so fast? I'm I don't know. He just wanted to sign it away. He swindled 10 organs. He cashed it all in for a free bingo night as a chance to win $10,000. That'd be pretty good, man. That's a good deal. An organ for a chance to win 10K? You kidding me?
For a chance to win 10K. I reckon it's one of those things though, you I often think it with carnival games, you wouldn't pay $5 to buy that prize, but you give people an option to lose it, and they'll pay $5 again and again and again to try and win one. maybe instead of paying people, giving the people that they could win an amount is actually more effective.
Yeah, it's how they find out how you swindled the organs. You're just a guy who sits out on hospice homes, and you have the little board of the 3 little caps with the ball underneath. And you're all right, listen. And you're you have a fat sack of cash, $10,000. You're gonna put up your organ. All right, which one is it underneath? You're I got you. All right, right here. You're so good at it. The organ swindler. Bet with your life. Ericon's in this game. So Tyler's got the best streak with the 2x, Ericon with the 1x, and Peter with the 1x. Ace on the 1 hour with the 6x. The one day we got a Numi in there with the 3x, McPickles with the 1x, and Vito Cerevo with a 58x. Very nice. Oh, yeah, let the bot run throughout the night last night.
I saw.
I'm trying to learn some stuff, but last night we were getting crushed.
I saw. Yeah.
Pissed me off so much because we got 7 losses of the 15-minute in a row, right? Which is crazy.
Yep.
But like, if we didn't have 17 losses in a row, I mean
17 losses.
Not 7. I mean, my bad. If we didn't have 7 losses in a row, we'd be 16. Wait. Wait, what is 26 minus 7? Okay, 19. Oh my god, if we didn't have the 7 losses in a row, we'd have an 84% win rate on BTC.
Wow.
So we had one before that happened. Like, so we were killing it. That was our best one. So like, that really confused me because that's never happened before. But like, super good news, 67% win rate on 4-hour BTC. That is huge for us. If that continues to hold, that's scalability in that one.
So how many different things are you betting on, and how many different time frames?
So I'm doing 15-minute BTC, 4-hour BTC, 4-hour ETH, 5-minute Sol, 5-minute ETH, 1-hour ETH, and 5-minute ETH. And then I have a bunch of other stuff that's testing, but not live yet. That maybe we'll go live one day. So we'll see.
Okay. So you got 7 different things that you're playing.
And it's crazy. And BTC had a 38% win rate last night because of those losses, but it still had $11 positive.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And our 1-hour ETH was one of our best ones before, but last night it ended up being one of the worst performers. So that's one of the new things I added yesterday to see how it does, and it ended up dragging us down yesterday. But everything came in the exact hours that it always comes in. And really all that happens during that time is I think there's just not enough volume for the strategy to work. And then I think the markets are fairly manipulated around those hours.
Yep.
And so like I have a thing in that, a filter to turn it off during those hours. But I'm running it through right now just to learn a little bit more. Like I wanted to see, like I've seen that pattern for 4 days now in a row, but I want to see if that pattern sticks for like the next week or 2 weeks. And then it's like, okay, if that's a pattern, like we just don't trade during those hours because we just know like, hey, there's not enough volume here. And now I'm taking pictures of the charts and then letting it know like, hey, this was the chart during that time. Here's the chart during that time. And so again, like don't trade at night.
Yep.
And then it's like, hey, like this is probably how much volume we need for this strategy to work well. And as long as a certain enough volume's there, it works. So. And it actually should get better as time goes on because Polymarkets is working to bring in more market makers right now. And there's like a lot of market maker rebate programs because they need more liquidity. So if they can bring more liquidity to the platform, this should be more scalable then.
Did you see that thing about how the volume of prediction markets last week? And
No.
it was down. It wasn't even like a spike. It was like down 2.5% on the week beforehand. But it was $5.76 billion or something like that.
Oh man. Yeah, they're
So I mean, there's volume there.
they're like teaming up together. The founder of Polymarkets and the founder of Kalshi are both investors in the same prediction market VC fund.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like they've like put $35 million or something into the VC fund, haven't they? Or raised $35 million to invest in
Mm-hmm.
prediction market startups.
Yeah, but then it's gonna like it's not the it's a smart move for returns because okay, here's two prediction markets that could be the buyers for these products in the future, and they're both aware of that product, and there could be a bidding war between the two of them. Like if it's a good company, you're gonna want to acquire it. But now both founders have as much knowledge about that company.
Yeah, I mean they've probably like developed a little bit of a monopoly thing between them, right? As far as like working out that they won't go into that kind of direct competition. Save them both. I mean, it's like a
Yeah. It's like the
working both
highest
there.
form of aligned interest is investment. Like you could look at two people in Congress and they might not have anything in common, but they might be working for the exact same team if they're invested in the same stuff. Because
Yep,
like monetarily they want to both see that succeed. So like
yep,
they're still working on the same team. So it's like
yep.
it is interesting. So you're like, okay, now their success is being tied together. They're gonna create this the secret monopoly together. Who knows? There's enough others out there to make sure that they stay competitive, though.
Yep.
Today's a big day, though, for the bot. Like, I gotta see if it brings us out. We're still cumulatively up, which is good. So it hasn't lost money yet. I could tell, though, yesterday around 6 o'clock that it was going to get bad. I just started to look at it and I was like, oh. I was like, this market is not turning around like we think it's going to do. I was like, and all the volume just started dying off. And I was like, nothing was really moving anymore. And I was like, uh-oh. We almost won, though, the sole 4-hour game, though, too, which would have been a perfect day on that.
A
Like,
perfect day. Like you
No,
would have gotten all of them.
yeah, all of them right for the 4-hour. Because only one soul went. It would have just been one. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
ETH 4-hour was going off all day, which was good.
Yeah.
But we lost one ETH 4-hour and that one soul 4-hour. And I checked it at one. It was almost so good. Like, we had gotten it. It was like a 4-hour game. The first 30 minutes, we got it for like 36 cents or something like that. And if you looked at the price, you're like, okay, like there was this resistance and you could see like it was probably going to bounce off and go up. So it made a lot of sense. I was like, all right, I'm down with this hold. And then holding, I checked. There's like 30 minutes left and we were up like 80% on both of them. And it was like over the line. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And of course, like I didn't sell because I'm letting the strategy like play out. Like I'm not trying to manually mess with anything. But then I checked like 40 minutes later and it must have changed. And I was like, no.
Shit.
But I knew at the bottom of my heart, I was like, I should sell because the volume's dying off. I was like, it just doesn't have enough. But what I'm testing is a bailout method on those 4-hour games and 1-hour games where you kind of know it just doesn't have it there.
Yep.
And that one says it could save me a lot of money in testing right now, so it's paper trading. And that only works with the longer time frame games, like the 4 hour and the 1 hour. But hopefully that works, and then it can save us like a ton of money, it seems. So, and then we're keeping like that same win rate. So as long as we're keeping like a win rate above like 40 something, then we'll be good. And then if we can cut it down by half, then we're cutting our losses by half.
Yep.
And those ones are like pretty easy to be like, hey, it's not going to come back, and you could lose 50%. And I don't really know how it would have performed too, because when I started that one on the 22nd, like that night when I restarted it, I just added a new thing that messed up its trades until like probably halfway through the afternoon, which is I added a thing to pull our Metafide API so it could pull our 1 minute and 5 minute predictions, but that API was down. So what it was doing was before it would buy it, it would check the Metafide API, and that one was down, and it would wait 10 seconds to check it again. So it was like missing all of these buys because it would be like, oh, it's not coming through. Let's check. And it was like taking 20 seconds to buy into a position because it'd be like, oh, it failed again. Like, let's just do it anyways. And so that one messed up a ton of my good buying opportunities yesterday. And then I changed it. So. The good part is all we really need is the 4 hour ones to hold. And if the 4 hour ones hold, then we're in scalable money.
Is that because the 4 hour ones have the biggest volume, do they?
Yeah, they have a lot more volume. Yeah.
Like more than any of the other ones? Like total? Like as in like the total of the 4 hour over a day is bigger than the total of the 15 and the 5 and the 1 day over that same.
Yeah, let's see right now. It's not telling me how much volume's in the game.
I would think that like the smaller the time frame, the greater the volume, like the greater the overall volume. Like obviously, like each individual game will have less, but I reckon like surely they push through most of their volume on 5 minutes, and then 15, and then 1 hour, and then 4 hour. I would imagine.
Well, some
maybe
of the
not 5 minutes because 5 minutes is new.
Yeah,
but
some of the 5 minute games have like 5K of volume in them, or like 1K of volume, and then the 4 hour game will have like 200K of volume.
I mean, if it's 5K of volume in a 15-minute round, then that's more than the 4. If it's like 5K, there's like 48 games in the 4 hour time period, and so you've got 240K of volume in the 5 minute game even if they're only at 5K over that same period as the 4 hour.
Yeah, but then the difference is the depth and liquidity is a lot deeper in like a 15-minute or an hour or a 4 hour, because there's only so many people in a quick amount of time who are like willing to sell to you in the 5 minute. Like a lot of people buy and just hold, versus the other one, like you have a lot more people like buying in, getting out, like changing hands.
Yeah, but I mean, like I guess like you could go like like if you had a profitable strategy that was equally as profitable in equal win rates in both, you could still hit that like even though each individual's game is depth, the depth is less in the 5 minute, you can just you can do that 48 times over the, like as long as you're earning more than 1/48th what you're earning in the 4 hour, you're still going to be earning more out of the 5 minute, right? Because you're betting in 48 times as many
Well, it
games.
depends. It doesn't take every 5 minute game, so it
Yeah, but it
sometimes.
doesn't take every 4 hour game either, does it?
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like it'll take like 3 5 minute games over the period of maybe like 3 hours sometimes, or maybe sometimes a little bit more.
Yeah, right. So it takes less percentage of the 5 minute games than it does of the 4 hour games.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Huh.
And that's just because the parameters I have set up on it.
Yep. I can't wait for our bot to go live.
If we didn't run it through the night, it would have been up $22, which was good. But we were up like $40, but then we had like a little rundown.
Yep.
So. It's annoying though because TradingView won't let you use Claude to look directly at it. Like if you want to use the Google extension and open up the page, TradingView will like block you from being able to do that.
Really?
Yeah, like they don't want remote viewing.
Huh. I wonder
Like
why. What's the is it like there with a bigger plan or something?
I don't know. They just don't want. It says it like violates the like distribution of it. But I feel like they just,
Of course. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
they might have some type of AI that they're going to work into it, and they don't want you just using something
Yep.
that's better than what they're going to do. Yeah, no clue.
Blockchain Bane is on a 4x streak.
Yeah, I was just about to say that he's doing good. And then Pieter, followed by Poach, MXAK, Miracle, Riddles, Ericon, Blissful, and then Drago.
Blissful is actually still on a 2x streak as well, actually.
He's riding that Bliss.
Oh, Riddles, nice win.
Huge win by Riddles there. Nice job.
When Riddles wins, he wins big because he clusters his positions.
I always see that. I see him like 3 positions at the top. He always has them like stacked up on the leaderboard.
Yeah. I finally like looked into the like a journalist kind of like running through the claims of AI video in the for Netanyahu, and I'm back on the side of that they're not AI.
They're not AI.
That's I think so.
What
Like it was he just showed what the cinematic like it's like they're using like obviously like a cinematic camera or cinematic lens. It's like a phone can do it. He said, but when you use that mode, like you can see stuff in like real footage everywhere. Stuff like disappears as it it is using AI, but it's like not it's not AI created in the sense of like it's like like completely made up, but it's using AI to like choose what's in focus and what's out of focus. And so stuff just does disappear, like the ring. That's like it showed similar videos that were real where stuff like that, like if it like particularly shiny objects moving fast from like one depth of field to another, it interprets as blur. And we'll just basically get rid of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, he was like a good journalist. It wasn't like wasn't. I don't know what shitty news agencies you have over there, actually. So
all of them.
I don't know. There's a bunch that I still trust. I like the BBC. I like Al Jazeera, The Guardian. I think they're all pretty good.
Trying to like catch up over here always. Like there's some independent reporter that like blows the news first, and then the news like has to report on it.
Yep.
It's like doing it themselves right away. So like we have a new resurgence in independent journalism. That's pretty
cool.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, I love that, but also like they don't have the same like they're so much easier to lie in a sense. Like it's like like they don't have the same like if they get called out for saying bullshit, it affects a big like if you've built your whole brand on accurate reporting, it's like like it's costs millions of dollars of like brand recognition in that sense. Like it's like but like so that someone just doesn't have, and so I feel like they're and the resources as well, like like but yeah, I do love independent journalism too.
So like there's that guy from Veritas Project or something like that who like goes on like fake dates with people to like expose them. So like he'll like go on a date with someone from like the CDC or someone from the government, and he'll like get them to say like a bunch of stuff like on the date because they think like they're either on a date with like a normal person, but really like the person's a spy.
Yeah, right.
Like recording glasses
Cool.
on. Yeah, so
Cool.
those ones are pretty good. And then I like Nick Shirley, the kid who's gone around and exposed all the fraud. It's like the simplest and easiest thing that like the news hasn't covered. But he went and exposed all the fraud with the daycare centers in Minnesota first. And he exposed
I've
like
heard of that, but I don't know.
yeah, so like
I've
we
never.
found there's like fraud all across the US where like these groups are using it to run like fake daycare centers, trade like EBT cards, and like also do healthcare schemes like hospice and private ambulances as well. So like they found out in Minnesota like the Somalians had like all these private ambulance companies, all these daycare centers, hospices, and there was no one ever in these buildings like when they would go visit them. So they're like, oh, it was a giant fraud thing. So like his theory was, okay, this is going on around the US, and a bunch of people put in comments, hey, like check it out in my state or Massachusetts or California or blah blah blah. So he decided to go to California to investigate like the same type of fraud, but for hospice care and like elderly care and things like that. And so he goes to like one building, and there's like 20 different hospice care centers in this one building. And he like only like 3 or 4 of them have actual staff inside of them, and the rest of them are just like empty like buildings. And then he looks in the parking lot, and there's like cars that are like $100,000, $200,000 all in the parking lot. It's like a crappy like rundown building. And he's like there's no person who would put their mom here in hospice and drive a car like that. And it's just like the people who like owned it and worked it. And so like they're just
right.
finding out these giant like schemes. But like the news in California wasn't covering it until like this guy started to report some of it, and then like CNN hopped on it. They're just finding like egregious fraud.
How much money kind of thing? Like what's he
like billions of dollars. Like in this one center alone, he counted something like $100 million. And that was just like one like building that have received like $100 million across like all those 20 different hospice companies.
Yeah, right.
And there's at least like 10 of those other ones out there, if not more. Like it's huge.
Yep.
And then they like find like people keep it in their family, so like it's kind of like a gang or mafioso mentality of, oh, we're running this kind of scheme, getting money from the government, like let's only hire our family members, so like everyone can kind of keep it hush hush. So like interview all these like kids like who like walk out of the hospice center and like are driving like $150,000 car, and they're like, what do you do? And they're like, I don't know, I just work here. Like they're like, I have no clue what's going on, I just work here, blah blah blah, like leave me alone. It's like, okay, like what 20-year-old kid is driving a $150,000 car that works at a hospice care center?
Yep. Is America still spending like $2 billion a day on Iran?
Probably. Yeah, we're like losing a ton of money. We don't make money anymore. There's no conquest anymore. I guess he used to take people's resources and land afterwards. But now we just spend a bunch of money to get nowhere. We'll see. If they try to end the war, then they'll ramp up the spending. So.
Well, I think Trump definitely seems like he's trying to end it. But I don't know if Iran is letting him. I mean, he's put out that thing saying that they were in peace talks, and then Tehran was like, "No, we're not. No, no."
Yeah, I think there's so much like confusion over there. Like, no one knows who's running what, you know. So like, even if half the group is like, "Yeah, let's have peace talks," the other half is like, "No, we're not."
Yeah, but I mean, the one with the official news state, the one that controls the state news, and their spokesman, their like international spokespeople, came out and said they weren't. I mean, they also may just be lying as well. Maybe they have been in talks and they're just like denying it because it's embarrassing for Trump. It looks, like it looks embarrassing. So there's always that chance too. But I mean, I think there's a very strong chance as well that he's just full of shit. Like that never happened. I mean, they're like, you're dealing with like a total pack of liars in every both sides are like yeah, Trump is an absolute liar and they're an absolute liar, like they're absolute liars too. So it's a hard one to know who to believe.
Yeah. Trump's a businessman though, so he's gonna tell everyone on every side of the deal like what they want to hear, and they're gonna think like, "Oh, things are going well." He's gonna write a book after this, like Master of Peace.
I wonder if FIFA will take his take his peace award back they made up for him.
That book is gonna be legendary. It's gonna be like how to solve the crises of the world in 100 days.
We have here. Have you got the same thing there where you got like petrol stations running out of fuel already?
No, but I heard this is why I want to get you on the videos to send you because I keep getting all this Australian news now. So I like think about you. But they were talking about how you guys were running out of petrol and like the food stores, people were like ransacking them. And like
what? No, people ransacking.
Yeah, they
food.
showed. Yeah, it said like, I don't know where it was in Australia though, but they were showing like the grocery stores like they didn't like have a lot, like all the produce was getting like taken out.
I reckon it's probably like they're collating two different things, and so the grocery stores always get bought out just before the cyclones hit, and
Yeah,
we've just had like a huge cyclone pass. Like it's gone all the way across the top of Australia. Like it hit us first, and then has gone like across the Northern Territory and is now going down the west coast.
Mhm.
And I reckon like they're probably getting images from that because it's like like everyone cyclone preps.
Probably that'd make
as
a lot
it's
of
coming
sense.
in. Yeah. There's definitely not been any like people aren't worried about anything other than like petrol prices right now.
Yeah.
There's no like people worried about food security or anything. I think Australia wouldn't be like terribly positioned for. I mean, it's like everyone's fertilizer is like diesel dependent, but like we wouldn't be terribly like we're a like massive exporter of food. Like it wouldn't like as far as like people eating here. I don't think that anyone's really worried about food security in that sense.
That is good. Yeah, I saw the thing about the petrol, but over here it's just gone up in price, but it's nothing outrageous yet.
Yep.
Like where I live, I'm used to it being like expensive, so I'm like, oh, like it's just like a summer where they raise the price. But
Yep.
if it gets any higher, it would be ridiculous. So, see. Oh,
One thing I found out, our bloody Australian strategic reserves are in America. Our fuel reserves. How fucking dumb is that?
that's so funny.
How do you convince us? How do you convince us to put them over there?
Yeah. Then when you actually need it, we're like, oh, sorry, we need
Well,
it.
that's exactly what Trump will do. Like, honestly, like who thought it would be a good idea? Like, yeah, like that is like no joke. That is what Trump will do. Like, we should not have our fuel reserves there.
Yeah.
We should have them in Australia. Like, it makes no sense to.
It's like Yeti has power, I have power. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
You said you got a lot of food. You said you'd be all right. So
Yeah.
you're too stupid over here to know how to cook and do stuff without gas and fuel and drive. But oh man, that's pretty funny. Oh, I also learned there's a 0.5% chance of you being born in Australia compared to the rest of the continents around the world.
Surely less, right?
0.5% chance. They looked at everything
surely.
like it looked like Russia and China was like a 38% chance or something like that.
So I think for we have we have far less than like a 1-to-1 replacement rate as far as like births in Australia. The only way that Australia's population is sustained is through migration.
Mm-hmm.
So there's already and we have like 30 million people or something in a world with 8 billion people. So even if we were replacing at 1-to-1, then what we got 10, 100, like 1 out of every 250 people. 1 out of 200 is 0.5%. I think we got less. Surely it's less though, because that's even if you take our direct our percentage of the world's population, we'd be under 0.5%, and then we're not people aren't the birth rate here is much lower than the a 1-to-1 population.
All right, I'm gonna tell them that they're wrong.
I reckon they're wrong. They have to be wrong.
So Yeti's
that's
much
way over.
He's like a 0.1% chancer.
I reckon. Yeah. Something like that.
So you feel like the luckiest guy in the world then?
We are the lucky country.
You gotta go tell your kids, you're like, guys, there's a 0.1% chance that you were gonna be born here. You guys in actually I can't name any other country. Like everyone's gonna be like, oh, why would you say that? You could say this. You could be born in South Dakota, in the U.S., in the middle of nowhere. Grateful guys. You wouldn't have kangaroos staring at deer all day.
You could have been born in New Zealand. You could
exactly. You got a freaking kiwi. No one would have taken you seriously in life. Oh, it's pretty good. I do like those tribes in New Zealand though. Those those outskirt islands that are all islands of mangroves, and there's really no land there, but there's these tribal groups of people who live on those islands of mangroves, and they spend a ton of their life in the water.
Yep. I take the piss out of New Zealand, but New Zealand is it's an exceptionally lucky country, really. I mean, it's how stunning is it, and low population, and so far from anything anyone cares about that like it's beautiful in itself, but it's like this like little bit that's like way over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I kicked the piss out of them, but damn, do they have it life good?
They're like it'd be
Like
sick
life's too good for
to.
them. They got soft.
I don't know if they got soft. Have you seen their rugby team?
Oh no, they're
The
hard.
Maori, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, they are fucking
yeah,
like
those
how
guys are.
did Maoris not take over? How did the
Yeah,
English take over the world? Like the like
yeah, they're like, oh, this guy's
little
6'7", 300 pounds.
yeah.
Like eats fish all day and has webbed feet and perfect balance because like all day long. Like what? No, there's no way you're defeating that. They must have just been a
Yeah.
really nice group of people and like been like, no matter way of
Well, I
life.
reckon that is fully that is how the English one is just being meaner than everyone else. Like
No,
you
they
said
won
what? Stab.
no, through manipulation. Like I've talked to this Native American and he explained like these stories from his family before. And he explained like how the white guy was able to trick the Native Americans through manipulation and lying. And that like Indians didn't really have this thing before about lying and like not telling the truth to someone. Like you were very straightforward and blunt. Like if you were like, yo, I want to take over your land, you went to the chief, told him you want to take over your land, and you guys would be like, okay, like let's plan a battle. And like we'll figure it out, and whoever wins this battle gets the land. Like it's fair. And the guy's like, yeah, like, it sucks we have to defend our land, but like I appreciate it. Like you're very like, and Indians just didn't see it any other way. They're like, I live this life. I'm gonna do this action. Like, why hide the action that you're doing? Like it literally didn't exist in the consciousness. It wasn't a thought at all. And then the white man came over here and was like, oh, like here, take these blankets, like let me help you guys out, let me be so nice to you. And they showed this really like a smile on their face, a friendly handshake, but behind their back, they were planning on, killing and getting rid of them. And they had never seen that type of slighting manipulation. They're like, oh, why did this person say, oh, I'm nice to your face, I'm here to help you, we're gonna be good, and then behind her back they're doing all these things, and it just like blew their mind. They're like, how could this exist? Like these people are poisoned. They're like, these people say one thing and do another, and it like confused them in the beginning, and that's how they were able to kind of get away with that, because a lot of people believed them and they just weren't like used to that. And so this Indian guy explains it as like the white man brought this like disease to like the earth. I'm not to the earth, but to like North America, this disease of like manipulation and lying. And but I've also heard it. It's funny enough. I've heard it from a British person. You would think, okay, like that's where that came from, right? Like they migrated over here. But I've heard a British person say that they really struggled transferring schools into the U.S. because all their friends in Britain were very blunt with them. Like, oh, do you like them as a friend? Okay, if you don't like them as a friend, you don't hang out with them. But like she met all these girls in the U.S. who she thought like were her friends, and they were hanging out with her, but like they were all making fun of her and being mean to her behind her back. And she was like, why would they want to continue to hang out with me and then be mean to me? She's like, they don't have to hang out with me. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. So it's like maybe just something that exists in the US. Like maybe it's, I don't know. But we definitely have a problem over here. Like people aren't straightforward with each other. And then you see the
Yep.
extreme of it, right? Like as you go from the East Coast, which where I live, it's colder. People are more blunt. There's no reason to mess around. People are really busy. And then you go towards like California and you get the most extreme side where everyone's so nice to you right away. They're all walking on eggshells because they don't want to offend anyone. So they're like really nice and they want to be your best friend and they want to connect with you. But then you find like after spending some time with them, they're like, a selfish person. They don't really care about you. They were just kind of doing it to feel and look like they're a good person and kind of do it for their own ego. And then that person in the East Coast who was kind of cold to you in the beginning and kind of felt meaner, like you have a genuine relationship with that person because, like, yeah, it was harder in the beginning. You kind of both busted each other's balls, but then you kind of found like a mutual respect for each other, and now you guys are better friends.
Yep.
I don't know what our obsession is with just lying over here. It's like we refuse to tell people like how we are, you know. But then on the other side, Britain, it's really hard for them to be emotional. You know, like I remember hearing stories from one of my friend's dad of like listening to like Pink Floyd during that time. And like for a British person to cry during Pink Floyd, it was like almost like out of the ordinary. They were like, I'd never seen British people feel that much emotion before. And it was kind of always like, hey, don't feel this, don't do this. And then you got to.
They're so used to being sad. If they had to express, like cry every time they're sad, just like looking up at the weather all day, every day, you'd be like, no.
Maybe what he saw, he's like, I've never seen British people feel that happy before.
I just think British people are like such serial complainers.
I mean, I would too if I didn't have that much sunlight. It was just gray all the time. And you had a bunch of Herberts around. Old Giza. And Rupert. Something about their elderly people feel way older than our elderly people. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but
Sorry
yeah.
if anyone is English, by the way.
He's just typing in there. Technically, I'm English though because I have English roots. So.
Oh yeah, we all got.
You do too, so it's allowed.
Yeah.
Nice. I just got another win. Okay, I'm cooking back up this morning. I had some big wins. I had like a few 3x wins this morning. Pretty good.
Nice.
Oh man, I really just should have stopped it last night.
You really should have what?
Just stopped it last night.
Yep.
I know I should, but I think I'm gonna continue to learn more from it though. You know? Because I don't want to miss out. Like if there's something that we can still get out of it, like I want to know the exact time frame. And also I really want to know why. Like, is there really such a difference in volume? Is there
But you should
get
just so that you like, I guess like I would worry that you're going retrospectively going, oh, I shouldn't trade at that time looking back. And so like if you want to do it completely objectively, you should set the times that you think that this bot is going to be profitable and run it at those times, and then set another bot going at the other times, and it can capture that data, but then you're not like polluting your bot's data with like
sense.
what you currently think the most profitable strategy is, and if that's not trading at a certain time, then
I wanted to have like a certain gate threshold for the volume is what I want to come out of it with. If it's like, hey, like this has been working because you have this amount of volume, and then as soon as it falls below this threshold, it doesn't work as well. So we should always have this certain criteria. Are we passing with this amount of volume? Okay, like we're able to enter into a trade. Or this amount of volume is held up for an hour.
Yep.
And then it's like if you're in a trade and you see a steep decline, So like that would help me too. Say if I was in a 4-hour trade and I needed to go back up, and okay, the first hour things are right, but all suddenly like another hour in, I see there's a steep decline in volume, and I'm down on the trade, and I'm like, okay, like all the volume dropped off, market's not trading, it needs a reverse 200 or 300 to be successful. Like that's not going to happen right now. Like everyone just left for the day. Like let's just get out and take a loss on this, you know. Like there's so many things that I can do to improve this, which is crazy because like this is literally all manual right now. Like this is just me saying like what's going on with this game here? Like is there a small edge in the way the mechanics of the game like work out? And so I'm studying how the game is played. There's no like prediction added from any outside source right now in this. So like there's so many ways to improve this. Like that's why we need to finalize the predictions, which we had turned off for a little bit, which is running all those different models. So like once that's running, I can have multiple sources to help this this process. And then once I have like the volume gate, that will help as well. And then once I have like the chart training, like it can know like, hey, what do we do well in what type of charts? And then I can have our model, which is trained off all the charts, say like this is the type of charts that we've performed best in. So like when it's predicting that we're going to go into those type of charts or we're in that sweet spot, like, hey, maybe let's increase the risk during this time too. Because like that's maybe how we figure out the Kelly like method.
Yep.
Because right now like there's no confidence to be able to say like, oh, do you go full
this is my chances of winning. Yeah.
But like from a baseline, there's something here to start with. Because this is basically just pure action, studying the game. What am I seeing? No outside source. And now we continue to add a bunch of outside sources, and this should just get better, unless it creates too much noise.
Yep.
So we have to figure out what creates too much noise and what's actually accurate. But man, we were freaking coming back up today.
All right, this is our last game.
Woo. I need to hit big here. Come on. Come on. All right. Good game, everyone. Good to see everyone. Take care. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Let's see who's going to be the final winner. It is Miracle, followed by myself.
Well done, Miracle.
XAK. Good job.
Good game.
Good game, everyone. Take care, everyone. Enjoy your day.
Cheers, guys.